Welcome, Evan. I think the guy that just wanted to the guy that congratulate you on the great video that you did for the Kingston Symphony. It was one that did great little one that did Beethoven, like almost Zoom call look, but I know you recorded everything local and stuff. So.
Oh, that's right. Everyone recorded their parts in isolation, and so then we pieced it together from that.
Yeah, so just maybe go over the process of how you edited everything together and how you prepped everybody.
Sure. So we knew that we wanted to do something like this when pretty much as soon as everything got locked down and live concert performances were postponed. Almost immediately there were videos like this where there were isolated orchestra videos. The Toronto Symphony, I think, was the very first to do it, at least that I saw. So we knew we wanted to do something, we wanted to go big. So we settled on the finale of Beethoven's Third Symphony. And what we did is we prepared a reference track for everyone and then sent that out to all of our players. And our players then recorded their own individual parts in isolation on their mobile phones, in their basements, in their living rooms. And then they sent all the digital files to me, and it was basically just a matter of a big video jigsaw puzzle, just slapping everybody together, making sure everybody was in sync, and then cutting it all together in a final video format.
Yeah, so how did you really edit it all together to like sync everybody together?
So I followed along. Of course, I have the full score of the symphony, and I found a reference point for everyone that I could say, okay, this is a point in which everybody plays and they play at the same time. So that could be the point where I sync everybody together, and then I just slapped all of the individual musicians' videos, synced them up to that point. And so that was, for the video editing, it was just a matter of then picking and choosing from that point onwards, everything aligned with the audio that we had set. Prior to that, so that was the video editing. Prior to that, I had taken all of the audio from the recordings that my musicians had sent, and I threw it into an Adobe Audition file, and it was just a matter of, in some cases, taking out a little bit of extraneous room noise. In some cases, it was a matter of playing with volume levels or EQing it so that we heard more low end or more of the middle frequencies. And then just adding a little bit of digital reverb to give the effect as though we were playing it in the concert hall, when of course we weren't. We were playing it, you know, in basements and living rooms and such. And then it was just a matter of putting the video edit and the audio edit together, and there you have it.
Yeah, I think it's amazing how much the music has played a big role in this isolation. Like more and more people are like tuning in to just to hear more music, either like that live or taped. Or...
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's. I think this pandemic has sort of shone a spotlight on a lot of things, not the least of which is the importance of arts and culture and how much it's an institution, a part of our daily lives, and with it gone, that's when we notice it. So, you know, fingers crossed when we get the all clear, that people remember that this is what helped get them through it, and that it's part of just what makes us human, to enjoy these shared experiences and to appreciate great art.
And has this part got was this project like planned in advance before COVID-19, or?
No, what ended up happening was I was in Calgary in the week of the original shutting down of large gatherings. That was really the final straw for live performances, was when there was the limit. I think the limit was brought down to either gatherings of 250 or 500, or 50 people. Happened around March 13th, I think. At least that's when it happened in Alberta. And so I was in Calgary at the time. I was about to do a show at the Calgary Philharmonic. They got canceled in between the final rehearsal and the first performance, was when the health regulation went down. It was very depressing. And so then I was actually stuck at the hotel for the next day because there was a snowstorm. So it was just this very surreal experience. And during that time, I was thinking, okay, well, if this goes on for a period of time, how long, we can only go so long without having some kind of presence with our community. What can we do? And I had a discussion with some members of Orchestras Canada. and they're a group of a national grouping of Canadian orchestras, and a couple of us had this idea about, well, what if we do an isolated orchestra video? And I said, okay, that's great. I have some ideas about that. And then actually just a couple of days later, the Toronto Symphony had their first video. And so I thought, okay, it's possible. It looks great. It sounds great. So now there's probably going to be a whole bunch of these in the next couple of days and weeks. And so then it became a matter for us of saying, okay, how can we do this and have it be something that's different? How can it be meaningful for us? And we eventually settled on the idea of having it released around the time that we would have been performing our season finale, which would have been this past Sunday, of Beethoven's 8th and 9th symphonies. That would have been our blockbuster final concert of the season. Of course, it's been postponed because of the pandemic, but we were able to put this together in time to roughly coincide with when that performance would have been. So it's instead of having that, we have this video, and it's not the same. It's not a substitution, but it's something that's showing Kingston that we're still here, and we're still dedicated to producing wonderful art for you and incredible live music experiences.
Yeah, so one a good intro to the video that I'm about to play now. So that'd be a good. The guy that thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.